Jeremy?
Sure. Look, I think we need to recognize that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu did a lot of amazing things for the state of Israel. And there are a lot of people that were very disappointed and very upset to see that indictment. Now, of course, this is a rule of law.
Even though it was coming.
You know, again, this is something that we have expected for some time. I don't think anyone really expected it on Thursday, but it did happen, and a lot of people are upset about it. And we are a rule of law, and part of being a rule of law means that everyone is innocent until proven guilty. Right. And of course, that also means that it is within the definition of the job of the Attorney General that if he decides that he believes that he needs to go ahead and indict the Prime Minister, it's his right to go ahead and do that. And of course, it is the Prime Minister's right, if he so chooses, to go ahead and go to the Knesset and say that he wants to go ahead and ask for immunity. So again, we are a rule, you know, we're a country of laws. We follow the rule of law, and we all hope that the Prime Minister will go ahead and be found not guilty. Even Benny Gantz said so in his speech last night. So, you know, I hear a lot of things that definitely came within the rhetoric.
The public to go out in front of the cameras and inflame the public against the law enforcement system
so again,
of the country.
Allison, as you might imagine, that's not something that I would have said. And a lot of the stuff that does come within the rhetoric of the Prime Minister is stuff that I personally disagree with. But of course, he just did get indicted on Thursday. So obviously he's going to go ahead and say some stuff that perhaps he would, let's say in retrospect, at least I would hope, want to take back. Because again, a lot of the stuff that he has said are arguments that I do think are not the type of arguments that I would like to see a Prime Minister giving within the state of Israel. But once again, I'll bring it back to the fact that there are a lot of people that are upset about it. You know, there were hundreds of thousands of people who went out to the streets of Tel Aviv to protest cottage cheese. We have, as I said, this first historic time where there is a sitting Prime Minister who's been indicted, and I don't see more than maybe a couple hundred going to the streets asking for his resignation. Our Supreme Court, which, again, is known by everybody.
Thousands flooding the streets to defend him either.
You don't, but again, you would expect it to go on the other side. You know, usually when you see a democracy, this type of thing happening, there are people calling for resignation. The Supreme Court just went ahead and today, just a couple of hours ago, decided to completely throw out the bid to try to force the Prime Minister to leave office. Whether we like it or not, the law says that even if he is convicted, until he exhausts all appeals, he's allowed to be Prime Minister. So again, when we are talking about the rule of law, we have to recognize, both people on the right and on the left, that there are parts of the law that we might not feel completely comfortable with. But for better or for worse, that is the democracy we live in today.
Jeremy.